Hello. Do you bite your fingernails? Do you let your anxiety take over to where you overthink a situation to the point where you just won't do it anyways? Do you allow the opinions of others to stop you from chasing dreams or to do whatever you want to do? I would think so. But before you get on yourself too hard, realize this is what everyone does. This is who you are. Today, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that's going to help you with that. The biggest problem for a lot of people is not their friends, their family, it's not the situation that they're in. Majority of the times, it's themselves. Some habits that we have that really get in the way of us being who we really want to be or being the person that we think we are. The biggest habit or bad habit that a lot of us have that really gets in the way of us being what we want to do or just enjoying our lives is having unrealistic goals. Now, obviously, everybody says you shoot for the moon, and if you don't make it, at least you get to be with the stars. Or you can even go the route of you shoot for the moon, and if you don't make it, you're still above everybody else. That's understandable. But the number one thing that guys, or not everybody, the bad habit that people have that I feel like we really should adjust is being more reasonable with our goals to where we can attain more and achieve more, and so we can look up later and we really have made more of what we're trying to do. Instead of having the grand scheme of what you want to do, let's say you want to go out and you want to make your own business. Instead of already thinking of level 20, let's start with level 5 and build your way up to where you can have real pointers and real points of reflection to be like, okay, I've done this. I can feel good about ourselves. Because I feel like a lot of things that we have or the problems that we run into is we have these goals and they're so grandiose, right? That we look up a little while later and we haven't achieved that main goal. And while we may have done a couple of things along that line that get us to where we want to be, we haven't done that main thing. So we feel like we're a failure. So we feel like, you know what, let me give up. Let me quit. I'm not growing. I'm not doing what I need to do. And if you just slow down and have a little bit more of a reasonable goal with what you're trying to achieve, I promise you, it'll seem like a more achievable process and you can breathe in and breathe out. The second bad habit that you may be doing or committing that you might not know how much is really hurting you is faulting yourself for things that are human, right? As human beings, we strive for greatness and we strive for perfection. Every day we're trying to grow, we're trying to increase who we are, we're trying to be the best version of us or at least an image of what we see in that best version as. And I think at times we fault ourselves for things that may be just what humans do. Sometimes you're going to procrastinate. Sometimes you're not going to be on the ball like you expect. Sometimes you're not going to have the energy that you need. Sometimes you're not going to be on the vibe that you need to do what you need to do. And what I think we need to do is understand that we're humans at the end of the day. And while we strive to be great, we strive to do and be successful, there's going to be times where we aren't going to always hit the ball where it needs to go. And I think the biggest thing we need to understand is that we're human, we grow, but that's what makes us great. To take the things that we do, the faults that we have, the things or the character flaws that we have, to grow on them, to improve on them, and to take every day to be the best version of us that we can be. If you leave a lot of these habits behind you as you enter this new year, I really think it would allow you to breathe in, breathe out, and enjoy your life. As I've been continuing in my business, one bad habit that I see that lingers in almost everyone, it's the imposter syndrome. We don't feel like we deserve to put the work in to get to what we have. So the second biggest bad habit that a lot of people have is a false sense of self. Now, obviously, you don't want to have too much hubris, right? We don't want to get to a place where you start to be unreasonable. You have a false sense of pride, a false sense of ego, and nobody wants to be around you. Nobody likes that kind of person. But a person that most people do like is someone who knows who they are, is confident in who they are, and moves or acts the way that they know that they should. The biggest or the second biggest bad habit that a lot of people have is not knowing who you are and how much of it is your fault. Everything we do on a day-to-day basis, we're kind of seeing other people do things, and majority of the things that we do, we're just imitating what we see, whether it's social media, whether it's what our parents did, whether it's what our friends do. A lot of things that we do is just an imitation of someone else, so it's easy to forget and lose who we are as people. But the biggest thing or the biggest problem that comes with that is you don't even know why you're doing what you're doing, who you're really trying to please. What are you really trying to achieve? It's all about knowing who you are when you wake up every day and when you go to sleep every night, to where you can say, I did this for me, and you can know that you're achieving something great. To really wrap this thing up for you guys, the main premise of this video was to let you know that these bad habits that we do, it's not things that make us bad people or it's not things that you cannot be successful while performing these things. It's basically to show you or to highlight that the things we beat ourselves up about on a day-to-day basis are the same things that can be what make us great. It's all about looking at them in a different view and really taking the things or the characters that you have and really capitalizing on them. And the things that you do that you look at as bad habits, they are bad habits, but maybe they aren't bad habits. It's just a way that you have to change the way that you look and the way that you think about things to turn them into something positive. Have a great day.